Long ago, in a peaceful village in Vietnam, there lived a poor but hard-working young servant. He worked for a greedy rich man who owned vast lands and many servants. Among them all, the young man stood out for his honesty and diligence. One day, the rich man promised him something special. "If you work well for 3 years," he said, "I will give you my daughter's hand in marriage." The servant's heart filled with joy. He worked harder than ever. 3 years went by. The young servant remained loyal, rising with the sun and sleeping only after the fields were tended, the house swept, and every task done with care. In his heart, he believed in honor, and he believed in the rich man's promise. But when the time came, something cruel happened. The wealthy man had found a better deal, another suitor for his daughter, one with land and gold. He broke his promise without a second thought. No guilt, no shame. When the servant asked humbly, "Sir, have you forgotten your word?" the man sneered and waved him away. "You marry my daughter? Ha! Unless you can bring me a bamboo tree with 100 knots, don't ever speak of it again." The servant stood frozen. The villagers who heard it whispered in pity. It was a trick. Everyone knew such a tree didn't exist. The poor young man had been fooled, humiliated. But instead of anger, he bowed silently and left. Not to run away, but to try. Heart heavy, feet sore, the servant walked far beyond the rice fields, past rivers and hills. He searched every grove of bamboo, measuring stalk after stalk. Some were tall, some thick, but none had 100 knots. Days passed, his clothes were torn. His hands were scratched by bamboo leaves. Still, he walked. Still, he hoped. On the 7th day, hungry and exhausted, he collapsed beneath a tree and cried. "I have nothing. I am nothing," he whispered into the wind. Just then, a soft rustle came through the forest. An old man appeared, his beard long, eyes kind like the full moon. "Why do you cry, child?" the old man asked. The servant told him everything. His love, the promise, the betrayal. The old man listened quietly, then smiled. "Ah," he said, "so you need a bamboo with 100 knots? I can show you how to make one." The old man reached into his robe and pulled out a small scroll. He unrolled it slowly and whispered, "Kak nap, kak nap. Join together, join together. Kak swat, kak soot. Separate, separate." "These are words of ancient magic," he said. "Cut 100 bamboo segments, then call the magic words. They will join into one tree." The servant's eyes widened. "Is it real?" "Real enough for those who believe in justice," the old man said with a wink. With newfound energy, the servant ran into the forest, cutting 100 bamboo sections, careful to count every single joint. He stacked them neatly, whispered a prayer, then raised his voice. "Kak nap, kak nap." At once, the bamboo pieces shook, glowed, and fused into one magnificent tree. Tall, strong, with exactly 100 knots. His heart raced. It was time to go home. The servant returned to the village carrying the magical tree. Everyone gathered. Some laughed, thinking it was a joke. Others watched in awe. The rich man scoffed. "What's this? A pile of bamboo?" But the servant said calmly, "Here is the tree you asked for. 100 knots, just as you said." Still refusing, the rich man shouted, "I won't allow this nonsense." Then the servant smiled slightly. "Very well. If you won't keep your promise, at least help me carry this tree inside." The rich man, full of pride, grabbed the bamboo. And in that very moment, the servant called out, "Kak nap, kak nap, dusmin, mant kasi." The tree sprang to life, wrapping itself around the rich man's arms, waist, and legs, sticking him tightly like glue. He stumbled, shouted, rolled on the ground. The villagers burst into laughter. "Get it off! Someone help!" he cried. But no one moved. They had all seen how he broke his word. Only when the servant gently said, "Kakchuat, kakchuat," did the tree loosen and the man fall flat to the ground. He stood up, humiliated. This time, he kept his word. The villagers burst into laughter. The rich man was dragged around by the huge bamboo, shouting in panic, "Let me go! Someone help me!" The servant smiled, then said the second half of the spell. "Kak chuat, kak." Separate, separate. The bamboo fell apart, and the rich man tumbled to the ground. Ashamed and defeated, he could no longer deny his promise. He kept his word, and the young man married the girl he loved. From that day on, the tale of the 100-knot bamboo was told across the land. It reminded everyone that a promise is sacred, and that cleverness, patience, and truth always win in the end. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and leave us a comment. What lesson did the 100-knot bamboo tree teach you? Subscribe to Lotus Lantern Tales to hear more magical folk tales from Vietnam and beyond. New stories every week, full of wisdom, wonder, and joy. See you in the next tale.